Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while again, sorry. We've not got work-life balance sorted yet, but we're getting there. So, the reason we've been delayed is trying to get Dad's car done for him. Turns out it's a bigger job than we thought. The thermostat was knackered. That's been changed. That resolved an issue, but created an issue in the same part. So now we're waiting for the new radiator to come because the radiator's blocked. So we've been cracking on doing other little bits and bobs on his van for him, his car, sorry. So that's taken priority, obviously work as well, because this is not my full-time job, which is why it's taking flipping ages. Can make all the excuses that I want about why I'm not cracking on with her. The weather, the short nights, not having a place to play, other people's vehicles. I'm still doing Pete's van for him. We need to get back on that one so that we can at least get going on that one. So there's lots of reasons why I've not been out playing. Lorena's been in hospital. She's had surgery on her back, so we've been mothering her. Lots of different reasons. So we're pausing the efforts. Anyway, let's get back to reality. Right, we're pausing the efforts on putting the night heater in at the moment, because I now need to use Doris on a daily basis. She's now going to become my daily runner. Joe's coming off the road, temporarily at least, maybe permanent. We've got some work to do to make her run like new again, and put her in for her MOT. So we're going to run the MOT runs out in a couple of weeks, so we're going to run it beyond and sauna, so that we can push the MOT away from Lorena's car, away from Doris, and so that I can actually do some MOT prep work in the flipping summer, which would be nice, instead of trying to get it done in the flipping winter. So Joe's coming off the road, so we've been sorting her out ready, and now we're going to be using Doris on a daily basis. So we now can't proceed with doing the night heater, as was hoped, obviously with the other delays as well. That kind of bit that one in the arse. So we're going to do one of the fundamental changes instead that I've been wanting to do for a little while, which is we're taking out the fridge unit box that we constructed, and we're going to turn that into a kitchen unit, a drop kitchen unit, if you remember me saying in the last video. We've got all the timber, so all we need to do essentially is put it together. Sounds easier than it probably will be. We need to cut the worktop that we've got spare left over to the exact size that we need, but we won't do that until such time as we've constructed the actual kitchen box that it's going to sit in. Now the thought is, and I've got absolutely nothing here that I can show you with, right, I'll do. So this being the kitchen unit, it's going to be bigger, we know. The thought was to put an intermediate shelf at the bottom and have two drawers, and then have the fridge on a bigger box that pulls out, so that you don't have to stoop. Because I want to try and keep the centre of gravity down low, I'm now thinking of flipping that over and having the fridge still at the bottom, as she is currently, with the two drawers on top for things like cutlery, tea towels, knickknacks, that sort of stuff, because they're not going to hold as much weight anyway. So I'm thinking that's going to be the plan for that side of things. So we've got the two sides of the base. We've got the intermediate shelf cut, so I'm going to measure nicely the height of the fridge box. I know the height of the 30 kilo drawer runners that I've got coming for it, so we can get them set right down on the base of the box itself when they arrive, maybe today, hopefully. And then we can sort of set the shelf for that, so we know what height that's going to be. There will be a little bit of clearance underneath, which will just allow for nice air circulation, and then we can put in the intermediate shelf above, so that it stops the fridge box being able to lift and rattle. That will then give us our drawer space, so we can make our nice drawer. And because we're doing it that way, we can actually, rather than try and partition it, we can make it a full drawer, which does mean another trip to B&Q, but so be. And then we can make a nice full size drawer, rather than two little drawers, which will just keep it nice and clean then. We've got drawer runners in the box of everything, so that we can put those on. They're not going to be heavyweight stuff, so, and it doesn't need to open fully anyway, so it's going to have that cantilever effect, which will stop it falling out. They will be on the locking buttons, the same as the other kitchen unit, to stop the drawers opening by themselves. So we'll have to work on that. So, assembly. As I said, we've got the sides, we've got the base, so we need to measure for the drawer runners, the centre portion of the drawer runner, so that we can get the skid right. We are going to have to put a surround on the base for the fridge drawer, so that we can keep the fridge from sliding and give us something to attach the drawer runners to as well. The other option for the drawer runners, of course, is to put them underneath and have it so that they slide out on the drawer runner. But the way that these drawer runners work, you can get specially adapted drawer runners for underneath, ball bearing drawer runners, so that as you pull out, the weight sits on the drawer runner. But they're a lot more expensive because they're designed to take that kind of weight. So the ones that I've got slide out on the side. If I show you, like these, obviously a bigger version, so they slide out on the side, and then as a result, they kind of, as you press down on there, it transfers that weight back to here to give it some stability. So these are the other drawer runners that I've got for the top. So we've got to obviously have that framework for the fridge to sit on, so that will give us a bit to the side of the fridge. So we'll put an intermediate piece in, which thankfully we've got lots of this one still left that we can cut down and screw the drawer runners to. So we cut that to size, right, and then that will get screwed from underneath into the bottom of the fridge box to give us that shelf, which will give us just something to slightly to the side, which allows us to store, I don't know, lap trays or something like that. So the pieces that we've got, let's just move that one out of the way. That was a scrap piece. So right, so let's just move you down so you can see. Right, so the pieces that we've got, so very nicely machined by Classic B&Q. 68 tool. I'll have a tidy up in here at some point, I promise. Right, so That's going to sit like that. Also, we're going to try and peel these sodding stickers off. So there's 2 of those, and that's the base and the intermediate shelf, and then what's underneath is the waste. So that essentially will be screwed like so, and then there'll be the intermediate shelf at the height of the fridge box plus the shelf. That's the plan. So connectivity, as always, is to mark it, and then mark it, draw a line, pre-drill so that we don't shatter it. So I need to get the drill battery, and I've managed to lose my pencil again. No idea. I'll go and find my pencil again. It's gone walkies. So mark it, pre-drill it, so that we've got that countersink, so that the screws bury themselves, because it is going to be a fairly snug fit going back in to the fridge box, or where the current fridge box is, which then means that we can attach the wonder wall, or the last remaining piece of the wonder wall, which is that one, once we rip it down to size. The tops to screw the worktop to, and indeed to attach it to the wall, are going to come out of this nice piece of scrap, unless, actually, no it's not, it's going to come out of that, because it only needs to provide side to side rigidity, which the bottom shelf and the intermediate shelf are also going to supply. So that's just to attach it to the wall, which allows me to attach L brackets to attach the worktop, which then gives it that super strength as well. We've conveniently got a couple of pieces of this so that we can do stay there. Definitely need to tidy up, so that we can do the front shelf support as well. So there'll be one at the front, one at the back on edge, so that we've got the screw up feature, leaving maximum clearance for the drawer and something for the drawer to snap against. And we're going to do that in the grey at the front, because the drawer fronts and everything will be grey, which is going to come out of this nice big sheet that we've got, so that we can make the drawer fronts and the cabinet. Now obviously this isn't going to make the cabinet. I'm hoping that we can reuse the one that we've already got, because it's got the vent in. Well, I'm acutely aware that there are going to be 3 holes either side. We'll cross that bridge when we have to. So that's the plan. What I need to do is go and find a pencil, because I've lost it. I need to get my little drill battery, which is in the house. I don't understand how I keep losing my bloody pencil. Really don't. It's like it's got a mind of its own, this thing. Really. Ah, there it is. Found it. So we're happy now, we've got pencil. So we'll get it all marked up off camera and that, and then we'll come back and we'll show you the final assembly of the box. What we're also going to do is go and get the fridge, so we can get the exact height for the intermediate shelf and everything. So back in a minute. Okay, right, we've been busy. I'm standing in the centre. New fleece, by the way. Anyway, been busy while you've been having a cuppa, talking to cuppers. Still think they're trying to say something, I'm not sure. But better drink it, otherwise my sage goes mad. So, kitchen cupboard is now built. If I just do that, So you can see it's just a simple basic carcass again. It's nothing fancy about this, really isn't. So structure supports at the top and at the back. We've got an intermediate shelf at the back. The reason we've now gone for this and not a drawer option, I'm about to show you. Somebody can't measure. That'll be me, by the way. So the enormous fridge, which is bloody enormous. When it sits in, as you can see, it's huge. So this is going to live here. We've got to keep it away from this side because of the air vents for the night heater when I eventually get it in. So we've gone for a little store shelf up there. It's not going to be much up there, to be honest. It's going to be mostly for when we're stationary, just to put knickknacks, bits and bobs, so that we can chase it around when we actually stop. Does mean now that we can lift the fridge just a little bit, just to get a can of Coke without having to pull it out. It is going to have a door front on it, but talking of door fronts, we need to, and I've not got anything that white. Right, this is not the finished article, by the way. We need to put a fixed piece here, and then build the drawer face from it. The reason being is that I can't have the drawer the full width of the unit, because as you pull it out, it's going to hit the air vents. Forgot about them when I was designing this. Never mind. So that's the basic construction. We need to put feet on it to raise it up to the same height as the other unit, although it doesn't overly matter, to be brutally honest. We could leave it sitting on the floor and give it an even bigger break at the top and at the side. Would stop stuff rolling. It does put the centre of gravity yet a bit further down, so we could go for that option, but I'll think about that when I take it out to Doris. So the only thing left to do is to measure and cut the worktop and fit it while we're here, to give us the correct lip overhang for the door. But we need to scribe it into place anyway. But if we get the length cut, then that's half of the battle at least. So this is going to be the new fridge box. It's a considerable better plan than was going on for Doris. We were hunting for the lid action. We could have used it as a seat, but it's just too high. This is just too big. The reason that we went for this size over the other model of this, which doesn't have this blue band, it's that much shorter, which would have made a nice seat, is the shorter one is more expensive than this one, which I don't get. So it wasn't on special or anything, but it was stupidly more expensive to get the smaller version than the bigger version. And since at some point we do plan on spending a couple of weeks away at least, the big one's handier as a compressor fridge stroke freezer for us going away. Like, certainly if we're going abroad, those that watch it camper vibe, to name but a few. Have gone across to Norway, somewhere we want to go. Is bloody expensive. Switzerland, I've already been to, is horrifically expensive to buy stuff in, so having this size of fridge allows us the option to take food with, so that it's less expensive, and I think that is definitely the key. So I think going for that size fridge was the right option. However, it does have its drawbacks, but very pleased with it. It uses bugger all power out the laser batteries when it's on, so it's superb in that front. It's a compressor fridge rather than anything else. Can be plugged into the 240. I have it just permanently plugged into the 12 volt system running off the laser batteries, and it works fantastically. We're going to get this back out to Doris. A quick tidy up in here before the wife sees it. Being that this is not my workshop, this is in fact our summer house. So if I don't tidy up, she's going to have my off. And we don't want that. So I'm going to tidy up and make it look nice-ish in here, and then I'll see you out there in Doris with this, where hopefully, if I've done my measurements right, this will bloody fit. Get them fingers crossed. I'll see you out there. Okay, well, as you can see, we're in Doris. Lots of shit out on the bed, some underneath where I was busy playing and that, so we've got all that to tidy up again. So there she is. Obviously the worktop's got to be scribed. You can see it's longer. The feet are in. I've done the feet, so it's now exact same height as the other kitchen unit. I've got to put a strip down this edge just to miss the vents. Yeah, I forgot about that part. I forgot about the vents. Bit late now, but the unit is, as you can see, made. It's got that nice step down between the two, just to give it feature. It's set back, as you can see, as well. Sit on a new bench seat. Oh, that lighting's horrible, sorry. Oh, that's even worse. Right. Oh dear. Right, so yes, so it's recessed back to give it a break, just a bit more of an illusion of some space. There's my little shelf up in the top for knick-knacky crap. Still got the back doors to do, as you can see. That's still on the project list. But yes, so you can see that we've got to recess it back, which will sit nicely inside the window again, just like the other one does. We'll get a piece of metal strip to run across it all, so we'll have to weave it out around that massive knuckle. We've still got the eye trim piece to do there, and then that is essentially this area all complete. For the face of the door, so yeah, what we're saying is that I'm going to do a hardboard back, a white hardboard back on that, and then that can sit back nicely then. So what we're going to do is, for the door, to keep it in the same orientation as the other doors, which I think is very important, we're going to put a little strip, and then we're going to divide the remaining space exactly in two and create two doors out of that other bit of timber that we've got up the top. And in fact we can use this piece because it's got a vent in, so we can, if we're very clever on how we do this, we can get the vent in the right place. Maybe we'll see. May work. But we can certainly use this piece. It's long enough to make the boards anyway, so we can get a door out of that along with the other door. So that's to come over the next couple of days. We'll crack on and do that. We're waiting, like I say, for the drawer hinges, then we can get the drawer slide out done for the cabinet, along with the locks to keep it in. We only need the one lock down the bottom so that it stays, because that's quite important. We don't want that running away with itself. And then we can have a bit of a tidy up in here. I think that's much needed. We've still got the overhead cabinet to do here, door to do up there. There's still plenty of projects to do. The nights are now getting a bit lighter, so that's going to help. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Where are we? There we are. Do give it a thumbs up, a like and a subscribe, and please stay tuned. There are more coming from this old git, where we try desperately hard to get Doris ready to start attending some of these shows, which would be very nice, so people could actually see her in the flesh, or a bit metal, but in the flesh. So thanks for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and your support to date is very, very, very much appreciated. From me, the wife, from Doris and the rest of the fleet, thanks for watching. Take care.